Take a good look, because this is the X15 GHG27, the engine that's on the HELM platform here at Cummins, which is higher efficiency, lower emissions, multiple fuels. Now, while this is the diesel configuration, the X15N natural gas is in the market, and people are taking notice. We're going to connect with Cummins to get the details on the X15N and see how natural gas is being received in the fleet industry. Let's check it out. All right, Mark, so we're talking about the Cummins X15N natural gas engine. Let's just kick it off right here and talk about performance. Gotta hit performance, right? How does this compare to a diesel engine in terms of performance, especially in those challenging conditions?
Yeah, great question. So for us, I mean, this is our first big bore natural gas engine, 15 litre. I mean, we're looking at 500 horsepower, 1850 foot-pounds of torque. We've really taken this engine to try and position it so that we're tackling up from where we were before with the ISX12N.
Yep.
The extra power, the extra torque really gives it that drivability, allows us to pull up the hills, really get some good performance out of the engine. And so we've taken this engine, part of our HELM platform.
Yep.
So, you know, we have this concept of having HELM, higher efficiency, lower emissions, multi-fuels, a platform where we can basically swap from the neck up, if you like, change the fuel type and be able to use a common engine. X15N, our first one out of that, and all of the learnings we learned from the 12 litre, having it there, we adapted those features, the different technologies, improved materials, improved even from the head from a thermodynamic standpoint, helps us control temperature. We took that 12 and just adapted it to this and made a 15 litre that hits heavy-duty performance required, and then a product that's robust as well.
Right. I want to dig into that a little bit, because I think your comment about your first big bore natural gas engine, I know people and on the fleet space know about the ISX engines from yesteryear, right? But this is different. Can you tell me how you went about designing this, approaching that design, and then that commonality to make it part of the HELM platform is really interesting too. How do you go about doing that?
I mean, it's our first flagship engine, right, that we're doing at the HELM platform. So we've launched natural gas first. That's pretty unique for us, right, as a diesel engine manufacturer. But it allows us to take a lot of weight out. We get to develop the engine as we need to have it. We think about that performance, the ISX12N. We've got a dual wastegate turbo in here, so we're actually get better efficiency out of it. New materials, so it's more robust than where we were with the 12 litre.
Okay.
The head, the thermal properties we can try and manage with the head and the cooling allows us to really protect on spark plugs. One of the big things, it's a spark ignited engine. It means it has spark plugs rather than a diesel engine without spark plugs.
Right.
That side of it is where we've always had a lot of feedback, both from a service standpoint, the importance of servicing it correctly,
right,
and just spark plug reliability. So if we can control that temperature, not only do we improve the life of the spark plugs, we also get better fuel economy out of it. So we get to leverage all of this and make the engine that much better from a product standpoint.
Right. Let's talk about behind the wheel and really the response to this, because I think that's where you can change some hearts and minds, right, in terms of how natural gas performs. What is that experience, and what should fleets and drivers expect from a natural gas engine now with the X15N?
Yeah, I mean, we've developed this to have a much broader torque curve than we ever saw on the ISX12N. So that gives you the low-end torque as well. It means we can run PTOs. It means from a startup, you straight away have that power. It's obviously going to be a slightly lag from a diesel, but it really starts to feel like a diesel-performing engine. Big portion of what we've been trying to do. To tackle this market, we need to have it with that power and torque, be able to pull the loads up the hills, be able to drive as close as we can to diesel, and that's the big focus of what we've been doing with this engine.
Right, for sure. So you have that diesel-like experience, right? That power that people expect coming from a Cummins engine. Yeah. You touched on it here about the robustness, but I want to dive into a little bit of the system improvement on reliability. Can you tell me what's been improved on that regard from the service side and uptime?
Yeah. I mean, so obviously, as I said earlier on the turbocharger, you know, one of the big failing parts that we had in the past, there are many reasons why turbos can have problems. Natural gas is quite an unforgiving application in itself. We learned that from the 12 litre. We made the 12 litre a lot more reliable as time went on, and we learned about it. Well, those products we carried through to this. The same as we carry on the head in terms of thermodynamics. The DPF, the after treatment is no DPF. As we think about after treatment, it's simpler. So, you know, there are inherent benefits of natural gas. A cleaner engine on the backside of that as well. But yeah, from a 12 litre, we just learned so much about, the pistons, how we changed the design, where we made changes in the 12 to carry it through, or where we just, from a clean sheet design, we could just put it in up front and start with a very reliable product up front. It's allowed us, we've done 2.5 billion miles in production through our product out in the field, so it's already out there running. We ran and tested this, anywhere up 107 degrees Fahrenheit from a high temperature, sub-zero low. We're up over 12,000 feet in altitude when we start going through some of the passes in Colorado, and we've had customers that are running it at 7,000 feet and really praising how the engine performs.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that customer expectation and their experiences too, because I think even at the shows, it's been rolling through the shows on the test drive circuit here for the past year or so. What is some of that feedback that you're hearing from customers, or anything that maybe even surprised you from their experiences?
I think the thing I love to hear from customers is a lot of what we get about, they see noise is a big thing that most people don't expect. Natural gas just runs quieter, it's an inherent thing, so it's quite a satisfying drive from that standpoint. We pitch this to behave like a diesel, so then when you hear customers commenting about how just fundamentally it drives like a diesel, it pulls up the hills. We talked about the 7,000 foot pass. It was pulling 55 fully loaded.
Oh, wow, okay.
We are seeing great feedback from people just trying to flex it, trial it, use wherever you can. And so, yeah, our feedback tends to be, a lot of it is a difference of perception. They think natural gas is going to perform one way, and then they come out really surprised. They keep driving it, and that's one of the things we've heard a lot of people come back with. You keep driving it, and you learn more about natural gas, and it gets better and better.
From your talking with customers, what are those benefits that they see in natural gas? Is it a decarbonization sustainability play? Is it an efficiency play? Is it both of it? How do they view it in the market?
It varies by customer. There definitely is a decarbonization play in amongst it all, right? I mean, it's lower NOx. It's inherently lower NOx than diesel. So if you think about it in urban industrial areas, that's where really you've got typically high particulate matter in the air. From a pollutant standpoint, it's just lower. Great for those types of applications. But low carbon as well, it's already at the 27 standard, so we have the ability to change that engine, make it capable for future emissions as well. And from a customer standpoint, that really makes a difference, because if you think natural gas is cleaner from a CO2 perspective, NOx is already lower, but then if you apply renewable natural gas, from a California perspective, they even rate that as being negative carbon. Whether you choose negative or zero, it's still such a large drop in carbon footprint that anybody who's got ESG goals, it becomes a natural choice, and it's the least disruptive. Versus having to take other technologies today, which all have a place, and there are places to use them. From a disruption standpoint, it's a known technology. You can service it pretty much as you would today. Natural gas is not that dissimilar from diesel. It's a mechanical engine. That's logical, that just sort of carries that through.
And I think in the industry, we are starting to see the value of that much lower emissions, because people are wrapping their heads around that, right? I know we talked about the X15 on the fuel efficiency side, and what that means in terms of percentage of growth, but also the reduced emissions and the decarbonization there. Natural gas can take it that one step even further now.
Yeah, because diesel, every time we do a fuel economy change, that's lowering the carbon footprint. So, there's always a path for diesel to get cleaner, and it's gone a lot cleaner. Natural gas is already there. It's something that's just, the ability to make it clean is already there. It's just how far you stretch the limit and how much you need to do it.
Very cool. One last question for you in terms of after sale and dealer and Cummins network support, What training are you doing? What education are you doing in terms of being able to support that engine once it's out in the customer's hands?
Yeah, so the beauty of having the 12 litre before and the other products is we still have within our large service network here in North America, we have a lot of capability already built in. By expanding our customer base with this engine, so core from where the 12 litre was, but as we start going up, we're starting to filter that into other markets, other areas. We've gone through our network, we've got training that we can make available for our own locations, for customer locations, and then even if you sort of take it out further, we've started pulling together support material for our customers, because depending on how you want to service it, you have to be able to have the two options. And so we've really tried to embrace the idea of needing to be capable, ourselves fundamentally, our customers as well, and then trying to help train them, educate them as well, so that using natural gas becomes as seamless as it can be.
Very cool. Well, Mark, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.